Alrighty, traders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another edition of Market Update Time with your host, Johnny Howe. We are going to get straight into it, guys. We are going to get straight into this session right now. What's going on right now in the markets? And also, guys, I'm going to be walking you through my most successful trade that I've actually had in a long time, actually, especially in such a short period of time. You're probably looking at it right now. So I'm going to be sharing this trade with you and all the details of this particular trade here. But just absolutely crushing it right now in the markets, guys. Absolutely crushing it. Before I do start, guys, let me get straight into. Let me bring up the typical disclaimer, and then we're going to get straight into it. Actually, you know what? Let me just. Let me just make sure I'm bringing this up properly, guys, for you. So guys, we're going to we're looking at the markets right now, but as promised, I'm going to be sharing with you a trade that I took recently, which was my most successful trade that I've taken, most successful trade that I've taken in a long time. So anyway, guys, do not place a trade based on what you see in this session today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and you've got to be smart about the way that you are trading these markets. Okay, this is just general advice only, and that's what this session is all about. Now, before I do start, guys, I want to share with you a trade that I took just recently, and it was my most successful trade that I've taken in such a long time. The reason why it was my most successful trade I've taken in a long time is because of it was an options trade. I traded options on this one. It was this breakout bar through here. All right, so this breakout bar right here was my entry to go short. Now, I didn't know how far this would go. It was just an entry signal for me, big breakout bar, and it was just an options trade for me. Now, again, I didn't know how far it was going to go, if it was going to go. I don't make money in every single trade, guys, but the trades that do run on pretty quickly, they do run on really fast. So this one here was this was the entry signal for me. This breakout bar here told me that now we're getting ready for another run. And due to the fact that we've just been going pretty much sideways through the last, since August last year, told me that this actually could be some sort of a longer term play, meaning I could be in it for maybe for even for a couple of weeks. And so I was expecting maybe a bit of a slow movement down, bit of a sideways movement, bit of a down movement, down. I didn't know what to expect, but what ended up happening, because it was an option trade, the very next day it did this. And it just a massive gap down, and on the close. And so out of it, I'm not going to get into the numbers percentages wise, but it was just an absolutely crazy, my most successful trade that I've taken in a long time. Actually, I think it's my most successful trade that I've taken ever in this short period of time. In one day, it's my most successful trade ever in my entire career, taken in getting in and getting out in one day. Get in here today, got out here the next day here. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Now, as I said before, I don't make money on every single trade, but when I do, it's either a small loss. If I have a loss, it's either a small loss or a break even type of trade. And then obviously, 90+% of the trades do actually make profits for me. But when I don't, they're actually quite small. And so this here was one of my most successful trades. So the thing is, guys, it was just following a plan, right? It was just following a plan, following some simple rules. And that's all. Now, not every single trade is going to do this. As I said before, I've taken quite a few trades this year already, Forex market, futures market, but none of them has done this. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and give you guys a bit of an update on that. So as I said before, there was one other trade that I took. I did take a GDX trade a while ago, about a week ago. A couple of weeks ago now. That GDX trade was a break-even trade for me. it actually ran on for profit. I moved my stop up. And got tagged out at break even. So that was a break even trade for me. And then this one here, which was this trade right here. So anyway, that's that trade there, guys. And I'll be moving on to the next trade. So let's actually continue now what's been happening on the stock market here, and a bit of an update on the overall Dow Jones and so on and so forth. So as you can see, right, guys, it's like just because of the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the Nasdaq are doing something, right? They're doing what they're doing. It does not mean that that stocks are not doing. There's plenty of opportunities out there when you're looking at all these different stocks and so on and so forth. And so that's basically what you want to be looking at. So the thing is, you do your analysis on the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and silver and gold and so on and so forth. But as you can see, right, I never enter the market until it meets my trading rules and my trading plan. 90+% of the time, it's going to make a profit. Some of those profits are real small profits. Some of them are break even. And 10% of the time, I'm going to have just purely just a losing trade. And that's just the way it goes. I don't know which one, but I let the market tell me. I let the market tell me what's going to happen there. So with the Dow Jones, what's been happening now? We're not really getting a sell-off, are we? What's been going on right now on the Dow Jones? We're getting what? We're getting pretty much just a pause, aren't we? We're not really dropping right now. We're not going down a lot. We've just been going sideways, haven't we? So this is where I've been saying for the last few sessions that this could either go sideways. This could either go sideways for quite some time and then continue up, or it's going to have a pullback and then it possibly could continue up. So we still could be just going through a bit of a resting phase here for a while, guys. And if we keep going sideways here for a while, if we go sideways for another week, and we allow the moving average to start catching up a bit more, this 50 moving average start to catch up a little bit to it, we have a very high probability then actually then continue up, because the pullback didn't happen. There was no pullback. The pullback was actually sideways. Remember, a pullback which is against the trend. The trend's been up. A pullback can either be a pullback or either a sideways movement. And that's where a lot of people are still trying to pick the top of the markets, and it may or may not happen, and it's just not a good thing to do. So we are ultimately just going sideways through here, guys. We are ultimately just going sideways. And so, which is, once again, this could actually be the pullback. Once again, look at this S&P 500. Now, guys, I'm not saying that we're not going to get a pullback, because it does look like it's starting to get a bit top heavy up here. So we could actually get some sort of a pullback. But remember, guys, this pullback could be short-lived. This pullback here could be short-lived. So again, you definitely don't want to be fighting this market. Now, the thing is this, guys, is that people say, I say don't fight this market, and then we get a down day, and people say, oh, John, you didn't get this right, or you didn't pick the top, or whatever. And it's just not like that, is it? It's not like that. Like, no one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. And trading is never about getting it right anyway. Trading is about following a trading plan. Like with the trade I shared with you today, that was based on a trading plan. It wasn't based on me thinking it was a good trade. I was like, no, here's a good trade. Here we go. And the same for the NASDAQ as well too. Just pretty much a nothing day today. So if we do get some sort of a pullback, once again, we've had this move up. So we could get, if we do get a pullback here, we could get a 50% pullback, or even just a shorter pullback, and then it just continues up from here. So that could be a quite possibility, guys. Okay, because remember, we had this big strong on this weekly chart to the right here. We had this big strong move up, so we could be getting ready for another move to the upside. You have to accept that. You just have to accept the fact that anything can happen in these markets. And when you think something's definitely not going to happen, or something is definitely going to happen, then you're completely looking at the market with a biased view, and you're looking for everything you can to support your biased view. And that's not a good idea. Moving on now to silver and gold, guys. Silver and gold, we're looking at, you actually can see what's happened with gold. Gold's actually holding this level quite strong, isn't it? Pretty much my X marks the spot. These two lines through here. Let me just delete this off the screen. We don't need that. All right, so we have this pretty much this X marks the spot through here. So we're getting a real big, a nice good support level through here, guys. and it does look like that what's actually going on right now. So once again, guys, by looking at this, this is just a nice pullback here. I wouldn't be too surprised if we actually did start to hold here, or even if we drop down a little bit more to create some sort of higher low and then continue back up from here. So remember, this weekly chart is definitely king, and we've broken back above this resistance level, a nice pullback. And silver and gold is a bit different. The silver chart is a lot different as well too, because the silver chart once again has had a pullback, but now we're just flattening out here. So if we create some sort of high low through here on this weekly chart, and then we start to rally back up, this could be some sort of significant major bottoming pattern in silver. So really, 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 really interesting to see what's actually going on through there. So across the board, guys, we're getting we're not getting the major sell-offs. The silver and gold is still holding strong there, but gold is definitely holding strong at those significant support levels there. And definitely the indices right now, all the indices are just going sideways. And remember, guys, the longer it goes sideways, that's us now refueling to potentially go for another run in the markets. That can happen. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, guys. Pretty much a quiet day across the market and not really much going on through there. And as I said before, guys, that trading is never about, oh, well, I think the stock market's going to go down and this is definitely going to be the top, so I'm going to short the market. Trading is never about that for me. Okay, trading is all about doing something like this, all right? I look at my weekly, I had my weekly chart over here, and I have my daily chart over here, and this is obviously what the setup looked like as of the entry bar. This is here what the setup looked like yesterday. And this here obviously met all my rules. And I had a nice big breakout bar, and I was looking at this weekly chart and met the rules. So trading for me, guys, is all about only trading when I have a trading setup, when my trading does set up. Because ask any of my private clients. I challenge anyone to tell me that 90+% of the trades that meet an A quality setup don't run them for profit. Now, the profit could be a small profit or could be a really good profit. The fact of the matter is they work. And so therefore, it's like all I have to do is just wait for these setups. And, and they work. And so that's just the way it is, guys, when looking at these markets and trading these markets. It's so critical. It's so important to look at that and to see how that's going and see all this long-term. Look at all that sideways movement for quite some time. And then we had this breakout bar, just a really, really nice breakout bar through there. And obviously, that's what happened afterwards. Now, again, guys, I didn't know it was going to break down so hard, so fast, but looking at that, this was just a magnificent setup. And the thing is this, guys, as I said before, like, I don't know what's going to happen on the S&P 500. I don't know what's going to happen on the Dow Jones. I don't know what's going to happen on any market. But my job is to say, okay, here's a trade. Here's a trading setup. And my job is just to take it. And I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow with this trade. It could just go sideways, or we could go for another nice run. I don't know. But if it does go sideways for quite some time, then I'm going to get out for maybe a small loss or a small profit. And then when they do run, they run on quite nicely. This one here was just such a magnificent trade, and it had no other choice but to go down. This was a screaming short signal for me. So, guys, that's the way that you need to approach your trading. Okay, if you are trying to short the market because you think it's the top in the market, and you're gonna capture the crash and all that sort of stuff. Long-term consistent profits comes from sticking to a trading plan. And that's how you truly get ahead. It's not that successful traders are lucky. It's not that they knew exactly what was going to happen. Like, no. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow, but I do know if I stick to my plan that I know more times than not I'm going to have a very, very nice profitable trade. Now, as of before, this is my most successful trade I've taken in a long time. Down 60%, the stock gap down 60%. In one day, and that was an options trade, by the way, so you can imagine the leverage on that thing, just absolutely just crazy. So a really, really, really nice success trade, but it comes back down to having a trading plan, And I don't make money on every single trade, guys. I do have my losses and I do have my break evens and I have my small profits, you know. I don't know, this trade could have been a 40% profit or a 50% profit on this trade. And then I was getting out for that. But every now and then, I'll take one that sets up with, that has a lot of energy, a lot of fuel behind it, so to speak. And then suddenly, bam, out of nowhere, it just absolutely just crushes it. So you too, guys, can become a successful trader. You've just got to get out of your own way. Stop trying to be right with the market. Stop trying to think that you got to know what's going to happen tomorrow and all this sort of stuff. And you've just got to stick to a good trading plan and just stick to that. And no matter what happens, you don't do anything until you have the trading set up. And then when you get the trading set up, just like this stock here, and it's not like guys that I just pluck this out of thin air. So okay, yeah, this is what happened. Like, no, ask any of my private clients. They know the exact rules, so they know this is a setup. This is a trade. You've just got to follow the plan. Then once you're good at knowing what a good setup looks like, and then you're good at staying and only taking those good setups, then your job is then now to learn the next one, which is good trade management, never letting a profit turn into a loss and so on and so on and so forth. So that's where good stop management and so on and so forth really comes into play when it comes to your trading. So guys, you really can become a good trader. You really can. And it's not that the professionals are lucky. It's nothing like that, guys. It really isn't. It's nothing like that. All it comes down to is your ability to stick to one good setup. You know, just one really good setup that you believe in, and just take that, and you'll start to build your confidence. Your account will start to grow. Your confidence will start to grow. Your ability to be able to put on more money starts to grow. And what ends up happening is that now your confidence, your percentages terms, this now can start to grow as well too. Meaning if you're happy taking, say, a 5% risk on your account at any given one time, and now 3-4 months later on, you're seeing that, my goodness, this actually really does work, and this crushes it. Now I'm happy. Now I'm happy taking, you know, now I'm happy taking 10% risk on my account, because I know that I'm disciplined, I'm patient, I'm only going to take good quality setups. And if I'm happy risking 10% of my account on any one trade, then then the thing is that the thing is this, guys, when I say 10% risk, meaning like if I place an option trade, I'll place 10% of my account on any given one trade as an example, right? Because when you're trading options, you got to accept the worst. Jeez, my phone's gone crazy. My mate's contacting me. Whenever you're trading options, you got to expect that the worst can happen, right? Which is that options, you know, if this was a call option trade and the market did that, say goodbye to your entire investment, because your whole thing went to zero. You need to expect that. But if you had a 10% return, if you had a 10% risk on your account, and call that, I don't know, say you had $100,000 trading account and you're doing it. Golly, mate, stop it. My mate's stalking me today. If I had, say, $10,000 on this, which I had a lot more than that, but if I had, say, $10,000 on this, and the thing is this, guys, okay, that if this was a $10,000 trade with options, okay, and say it did 500% return, which actually I think it did a bit more than that. I think it was, but say a 500% return, then that's a $50,000 profit on that one trade, which is what, a 50% increase on your account. So more risk doesn't equal more profit. It really doesn't. It's a good amount of risk, but with good trade selection. So if I say took 10% of my trading account and put it on this one trade, and it was, say, a loss, and the thing is that if oh, Tony, you also got into this one too, did you? Bought it for 8 cents. It's now worth 50 cents. I don't know when to get out. I need you, John. Tony, my man. Well, Tony, there's a saying in the markets that bulls and bears make money and pigs get slaughtered. Man, if you've just made that percentage returning one day and you're not happy with that, you deserve to be slapped. So I guess what I'm trying to say with you guys is that that if you have good trade selection, right? So if I play, say, 10% of my account in this one and say that I had a 50% loss in this trade, then now my account is down by 5%, right? But in this case, you can see the doubling effect, and that's the good thing about options, especially when the volatility starts to pick up really, really quickly. 100, 200, 500%, 1,000% return is possible in a short period of time. And now a short period of time, I mean like a couple of weeks to a month. Now, when something like this happens, it's just like it's game over. But the thing is, guys, is it just works. My system works. The system that I trade just works, and my job is just to keep taking this. Now, when will I get another trade like this? When will there be another stock trade that I take? I don't know. It could be another month or two before I find another really good setup. Most of my trades have been on the futures and Forex market. So let me answer some questions here, guys, and I will go from there. It actually wasn't, Rav. It actually wasn't. And I don't trade out of the money options, Rav. I bring in the money options, Rav, is simply because if the trade does go against me, then I'm using that as a bit of a cushion to get out with a much smaller loss. If it runs for me, I can make a good profit. But if it goes against me, then I can get out with a much smaller loss. Make sense, Rav? So even with out of the money, in fact, this trade here, Rav, in this case, actually, in this case here, the in the money options actually generated a % return. It actually generated a much higher return than the out of the money options, which is quite crazy. Yeah. So I always trade in the money options, guys. And why I say that is because if the market goes against me, then I want to use that as a bit of a cushion to try to minimize my loss. If when I do have losses, because I do have losses, so I try to minimize those losses. But if it runs for me, then I know that I can make a good profit for it as well too. So that's the good thing about options, that you can use that strategy as in the money options as a bit of a buffer. Alrighty, guys. So let me anyway, guys. So, this trade means nothing, guys. Okay. As I said before, I do have my losses as well. And it's just nothing. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's just, look at all this time and then a nice breakout bar. Tony. Sure, it will all kick off with Brexit. Brexit already happened a long time ago. Going down, congrats, awesome. Tomorrow, March 6th, is exactly 10 years since the S&P bottomed, 666, and the DJI bottomed. Looks like a sell-off is about to start. Come on, Rab. Seriously, man. You still going on with that shit? Seriously, man. Come on now. Come on, man. Big bearish engulfing. It has been a bearish engulfing, but that doesn't mean it's going to go down. Just means that we could actually end up just continuing on sideways. Hey, John, could you do analysis on ticker I? Weekly chart shows a downtrend beginning. I. All right. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here, Frank, but I'm going to say this. The only time you should be looking to get into a stock, Frank, is when your trading setup appears. All right. So with that trade that I just shared with you today, I got into that because my plan says today's the day you enter. Here's the setup. Here's the entry bar. And this is the option I'm buying. There's no if, there's no buts. It's like, this is the trade. So for me, yes, it does look like it's starting to roll over a little bit here, but it doesn't mean anything really. And the only reason why is because we could actually hold here and then continue and then continue back up again. That's what could happen. So even though we're getting a bit of a roll over here, and we're getting a lot breakdown, we're still at this, we're here. We're still at this level of support level through here, and it really hasn't broken below that at all yet. So even though it looks like it's starting to roll over here a little bit, I've seen so many stocks that look like this, and then suddenly they just continue up from here. So I thought today's action was bearish. Oh, every day is bearish for you, Rav, because that's your biased view. Sold off to the close and bear flag. Bear flag? How the hell do you get a bear flag out of that? Rav, it's so important, my man. It's so important that you look at the market with unbiased view. And because you do have a position on him, because you're trying to short the top right now, you're trying to look for anything that's going to prove that you were right. Oh boy, ACB looks strong today. ACB, eh? You may be right, Jesse. You may be right, and it may continue up from here. Actually, does with actually this type of bar and this volume here, we're probably going to get a continued follow through now. Looking at this here, got a bit of a pullback and get a nice little breakout with this volume here. We're probably going to get a bit of a follow through tomorrow. There's a lot of buying activity behind today's. Is Jesse, is that can you see their emotions that you've been involved with this market? So you get into this trade, right? You get into this trade. The very next day, it actually has a down candle. You're freaking out, asking me, what should I do? You're very, very quiet, hoping and hoping and hoping, and then it breaks back up. And now you're like, oh, here we go. I was right. Say what? Here we go. I was right. And the same with oil, right? And the same with oil. Oil, you're like, right here. Oh, I'm bullish. Oh, no, wait, I'm bearish. Oh, no, wait, I'm out. Oh, wait, big down candle. Looks like the market's going to drop. Can you see what I'm saying here, Jesse? It's like you are all over the place, my man. Look at the way that I'm sharing with you how I trade. I find a setup, I trade it, I get in. It's either a small loss or a small profit or a nice big profit. And then I continue on from there. It's as simple as that. But you, my man, you're like, I'm on it with options. Oh, fantastic. Crude oil is looking kind of weak. Really? How the hell do you get this action? Low, higher low, sideways, looks like it's about to break above this resistance here. How do you get that? Come on, Jesse B. Seriously, man. Are you ever going to learn? You are still all over the place, my man. I can imagine your trading results. It's not good, my man. It's not good. Okay, please. You're over trading, Jesse. You are over trading. You're still getting into something because, well, this does not look weak at all. Something that creates a higher low, higher high, and is in a nice upward trend for the last couple of months is not a weak market. And it's just going sideways here. This could be some sort of higher low again, and then when suddenly we break up, we could break up again. Or we could break down, like who knows? Like no one knows. But I hope you can see, Jesse, that you are way over trading. You are way too emotional with these markets, and there's no consistency. Oh, it's going up. Oh, it's going down. Oh, the market gapped up. Oh, lucky I got out, and then the very next candle drops down, and then suddenly, Jesse, I saw that comment on my chat on my chat box, by the way. This has been your trading here. Let me bring this up here, okay? This has been your trading, Jesse, especially with oil. I'm going to use USO here, but I'm going to bring this up here for a minute, all right? So your trading has been this. So oil, you know, we started with bullish oil, right? So you started to become bullish here. Oh, look, bullish oil. Looks like oil is going to start to climb up. It's going to start to go up. And this day right here, you go short. You're short the market because Donald Trump said, oh, well, oil is very, very weak. 2 days later, you're like, oh, lucky I got out. 2 days later, oil actually had this down candle, and you're all over my chat box, all over my comment. I saw that comment, by the way. Oh, looks like oil's weak. It's going down. And now we just got a couple of sideways movement. And all I see is this market going up. Traders, this is one of the worst things that we do as traders, is we throw our thoughts and our opinions, our biased opinions based on the market, and we try to find anything that can support us being right. Throw your fucking ego at the window, because the market doesn't give a shit about you. And if you want to start getting consistent results, you gotta be consistent at trading a setup that you know that works, not just. So Jesse B's in a trade right now that the market's making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, buyers in control, buyers in control, buyers in control. Okay, so that is in that with ACB right now. This is ACB. Meanwhile, USO is making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Oh, but this is really, really weak. Say what? Say what? What'd you say? What? These two are the exact same thing. But one's bullish and one's bearish. Slow down, my man. Slow down. You're doing your head in. Let's go through here. 666. Thanks, John. No problem. Everyone is like that. Not everyone. Not everyone trade. Jesse, a lot of sixes. Not saying six. Okay, cool. Well. Laughing out loud. Cool, Peter. Cool. Just make sure, Peter, that your trading plan and trading setup is the exact same thing every time you get into a trade. So it's not like, well, this is my trading setup for this trade, and the next trade's for this trading setup, and the next trade, there is no, you want consistent success, you got to be consistent with your trading. I'm surprised you don't talk much about Palladium. Oh, no. I entered just under 600 and sold for, oh, aren't you such a good trader? Well done, by the way. Well done. I hope that was based on a proven plan that you can replicate those results for the rest of your life, and that just not being lucky. Because I've had so many people say, like, I know so many people that made like $500,000 in Bitcoin to then lose that and a lot more soon afterwards. Look at the long term on oil. Could be a bear market rally. You may be right, Jesse. You may be right. But yeah, it's so important, guys, to trade what you see, not what you think, hope, or fear. Really, 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 really important to your trading success. So, and that's what it's all about, guys. Again, it's not about me being lucky. The professionals are professionals for one reason only. Please listen to me. If you want to be a successful long-term trader, you must have one trading setup, or even if it's 2 or 3, but start with one first and then build on that. But one trading setup that you honestly 100% believe in, and that's all you take. All it takes is one good setup and a half a dozen of really, really good trades throughout the year, and you're kicking ass. You're absolute kicking ass. All right, and that's all it takes. It doesn't take a lot. So many people are trying to trade everything they see, everything that moves, and so on and so forth. I was doing a coaching session with my private clients yesterday, and this is one of the things I was talking about, that you've got to only take the things that meet your plan. If you want consistency in your life, you've got to be consistent in your life. That's just it. And you know, so many people in this chat box here, and I understand it. I understand it. Like, I've been there before myself, and you know, I didn't listen to my coach for quite some time, but I slowly started to listen to him. And now I think so much pain to just taking shit trades. So I was just like, no way I'm taking this. No way I'm touching this. No way, no way, no way. And every time I just stick to my plan, I get out with either a small loss or a break-even trade, you know, 10 or so % of the time, 90% of the time I make a profit. Some of those profits are just small profits, and some of those home runs, like my AFH trade today. Some of them are like that. Some of them are just like home runs. This was a home run, by the way, guys. Home run in one day. Because of the volatility in options, because this thing dropped down so much and the volatility increased, which just absolutely just nuts. So crazy. You know, and again, guys, this is the most successful trade that I've taken, you know, like in one day. I've taken really successful trades, but they've generally taken a good, when I'm trading the daily chart, they've generally taken a good, say, 3-4 weeks to unfold to make a really nice profit. This one here was just a big gap down. I didn't know I was going to gap down, but there you go. But the thing is, guys, is the trading setup that you see right now is the trading setup that I take every single time in the markets. Whether I'm looking at a 2-minute Forex chart or an hourly futures chart, or I'm looking at a daily stock chart, I'm looking and trading the exact same thing every single time. And because I'm consistent, or the more consistent I be at just trading these good quality setups in the long run, I just keep hitting that ball for 6. Every now and then I might get an LB, or every now and then I get out, small loss or whatever, but yeah. And that's the benefit of this system. So, you know, and that's obviously what I do. That's obviously what I do. You know, Tony, you still in the room, my man? You're part of my coaching, aren't you, Tony? I'm not sure if he's in the room or not. But the thing is that that's what it's all about. Okay, it's all about just sticking to the rules and just following the signals. And you know, when you're first starting out, when you're first starting with any system, you know you're going to be making some mistakes. You're going to be getting in when you shouldn't, getting out when you shouldn't, all that sort of stuff. You're going to be making a lot of mistakes in the markets. So and that's how successful trading is done, guys. It really does come back down to that. It comes back down to the fact that, you know what? I'm just going to wait for the things, wait for those setups, because I promise you, you either got 2 scenarios. 90% of the traders suck in the market because they do exactly what most people do, which is they're just getting into something because it looks like a good idea. Oh, this looks bullish. They don't understand that, okay, this trading setup, this is what I'm looking for in my trading setup, and I'm only going to take a trade based on this. But I haven't had a trade for a whole week, John. So what? It's been 2 weeks since I've had a trade. So what? Don't take anything and don't take anything that that doesn't meet your plan, because you're only gonna lose money. So you're actually ahead by not doing anything. Good job for being patient. John, it's been 3 weeks now. There's been no trades. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to get edgy. Look at all this market movement. Gold's going up or gold's going down, or this and that. I need to get in. I need to get in. No. You are up by not taking any trades, because I guarantee if you do take a trade based on something else, it's going to be a losing trade. Don't do anything. Oh, John, it's been a month now and there's been no trades. Are you serious? I thought this was a successful trading system. There's not even any trades. That's okay. Remember, you're still up, because I guarantee you for the last 4 weeks, people's account has been getting demolished by 10, 20% because they're doing exactly the thing that you want to do. Restrain yourself. Restrain. Week 5. Oh, John, I just took this amazing setup and my account grew by 20% in a week. Oh, I'm so grateful that I held out and I just waited for this really good setup. Good job. Rinse, recycle, repeat, my friend. That's how it is. And then suddenly the next 4 or 5 weeks, you get, 1 or 2 trades a week. And then maybe there's another few weeks of no trades. You can't force it. You can't force it. You can't force it. You can't force it. Okay. Well, Tony, I'm not sure the reason why you actually got into this trade here, but you don't actually know the rules 100% yet. But this was actually a trade here. So, yeah, you don't actually know the rules 100% the reason why this is a trade. So I'd be very, very careful on doing that. Need to make some money first. Where would you place your stop on APH entry? Oh, it's called, Justin, this trade here, it's called get in, and the very next day, this is at a really, really, really good profit. It's called taking your profits and saying, thank you very much for this amazing trade, closing the trade out. Next, please. Oh, this is at 500% return. I think I want more out of this trade. Come on now. Bulls and bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. Don't be a pig. Don't be a pig. Yes, I do, Peter. Yes, I do. Peter's asking. I mean, before those gains. Oh well, I obviously have my exit rules based on my exit rules, Justin. You know, like I'm not going to go into absolute detail about my exit rules here, but I have certain things that I look for in the markets that tells me, you know, whether one, I have two exit rules. One, I have my maximum exit rule. If the market does this and gets to this point, so if I got into this short, when I got into this short trade here, then I knew exactly. So when this short trade appeared, I said, okay, my trading rules, I knew exactly where my maximum. So if the market does turn around and go against me and it gets to a certain point, then I know exactly where my maximum exit rule is. But then I have a second exit rule, and that's basically is I give it a bit of time, it just does nothing, and then that's basically when I get out as well too. So I actually, in my trading plan, I know exactly what I'm doing. So I use two exits. One's my absolute maximum, which is no story exit, and I have that. So if I'm in a trade and it gets to this point, there's no story to keep me in. There's nothing here. It's like, okay, I need to be out of this trade. And Peter, yes, I do keep an eye. Probably mostly Bitcoin. No problem. Probably mostly Bitcoin and Litecoin. No, Bitcoin and Ripple. Peter, I actually have that on my futures and Forex platform that I trade futures and Forex with. So that's what I have there, and that's what I focus on with that. And with that, I actually trade Bitcoin and Ripple. So, by the way, full disclosure, I've only taken one trade on the crypto market in my entire life, and that was a short trade as Bitcoin started to break the 6,000 mark and went down to like 3,000. So that was my only short trade. I actually took that live in front of my private client, so they could testify to that as well too. So yeah. Well, anyway, guys, well, that's it for me today. I still have one spot left open, guys, for my coaching program. So if you would like to join that, then just, you know what, just do this. Just go to, let me bring up the link, and then you can fill out the application form, and then we will go from, actually not that one. Let me just bring up this link, guys. All right. Well, if you'd like to get access to everything I'm talking about here, guys, I do have one spot left open for my coaching program. It hasn't been filled, not yet. So if you would like to do that, John, do you ever trade 3 times ETS directions? Jesse, if it meets my trading plan, I will trade it. But yes, I do. I trade everything. I trade everything that moves. And if it has a setup, I don't care what it is. I'm taking it. Simple as that. So this trade here, guys, is just a testament that there's so many amazing opportunities out there. If you know what to wait for and look for, you can do really, really, really well in the markets. You really, really can. He did say something about JNUG. Yes, I was actually in a JNUG trade a while. Actually, last year I was. So yeah, so be smart about the way you're trading, and all right, guys. Well, that's it for me today. Have a great day. Thanks for coming around. Thanks for coming here, guys. And I will catch all you guys next time. Take care, guys.